Page 8, Nocturne. 4/4 time, no sharps or flats in the key signature, but it's got accidentals. You say no sharps or flats in the key signature, it's C major or A minor. Well, let's look at the last measure down here. You have it here. That's A minor, that's an A minor chord. I'd say this is in the key of A minor. We're going to talk about the right hand first. It has a pickup beat at the beginning. It's coming out on beat 4. 4 E and a 1. 4 E and a 1. Or just think 4 and 1, and the 16th note comes in between. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Lift up between these phrases. Now hold that F down, it's a whole note. Hold it down for the whole measure. Watch the fingering in the right hand as 4, 5, and then this triplet. The triplet comes on the end of 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 4. And 4. I don't actually count the triplet, I feel it. It's and 4, and 4. I put in the 3, so it's 3 and 4. And I do a 2-3 on that rather than a thumb. I don't want to bring the thumb up that quickly. I don't think that works very well. So I'm going to do the second finger on that for the second line there, and then lift up into the phrase. And then it's a 5-3. Fairly quickly, but again, in piano we got to be able to do this, so learn to do it. 4 and 1 and 2 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3, and then little finger, and then second finger, and that's an 8th note. Don't hold it down. But the third line, those are half notes. Hold those down. And they say 5th finger, that's okay if that's the best you can do. I prefer to do 3rd finger, connect them, and then substitute the 5th. Here, so I can connect it all, and then 4. 2. You see, you got multiple voices going on because the stems and the half notes are going down. So we got 2 voices. We want to hear both voices, wherever they are. Okay. Let's go on. This is the pickup to the last measure, the 3rd line here. I would like to suggest a little more advanced fingering here to prepare you for more difficult music. So here, I'm going to do a 2-3 on the A flats here, and then for the G's, a 2-1. So I'm using different fingers on repeated notes. It's safer. Eventually, do it without looking. And then if you can reach it, reach up. The A is just over an octave if you can reach it. If you can't, you have to let go and go. But if you can, reach it because it's legato. And it's 4 and 4 and. So it's 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then cross over here. It's really not too, I hope you can do that. Lift up phrase, and here again you can use the same finger if you want, but I prefer in this case it would just be a 3-1-3. I'm alternating 3 and 1, and then a 2-1, and then here rather than 1 I do a 2, 3, 5. I'm just stretching here to get it all legato. And then, and for the 8th notes, I would do a 1-2 on the first one, and then a 2-4. And lift up again, same thing. 3, 2, 3, 1. It's similar to what we had in the 3rd line, except we only have 1 G instead of 2, so it's here, here, and then reach up this is the top of page 9, and substitute the third finger. So it's legato 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You take these as slow as you got to take them to get the fingering and the rhythm and all worked out, and then lift up. We can speed it up later. Here we have that triplet again. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. I just feel it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the fingering here on this is the thumb is on the A here, and then just stay in this position. And I do a 2-5 on a half note. You can do a 1-5 if you'd rather, that's fine. Then lift up for the 8th rest, come up here, and then hang on to that for a little longer. I'll add an extra beat or two, whatever, and then here. Third line, that whole note, hold it down. We've had this before. Oh, you've had that, okay. Go down to the last line. Here, and then a 2, and then a thumb, let's work on this part. This is the second to the last measure. It's a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. See that? It's, 2 of those 8th notes are tied together. And they don't use a quarter note there because they're beaming this according to the beat. They want to keep that straight, so they had to use 2 8th notes and just tie them together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So on this run, beat 1 is here. Beat 2 is the second E, the tied E. You can see the left hand plays a note there. That's beat 2. And then beat 3 is when the left hand plays that quarter note, which is the first 16th note. It's tied from in the right hand. That's beat 3. And then beat 4 is the first of the triplets. It's 4 and 4 and. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Takes a little time to work that out. Left hand, keep the left hand down. It's accompanied. Everything we want to hear is in the right hand. So this is all. Your fingering is fine if that's what you want to do. Play them legato if you can. Can't play those legato, but do the best you can. Here. I like to do all of this in one hand position. This is the third line down, last measure on beats 2 and 3. This chord and this chord. The whole thing is a chord, and so I'm going to play it in this here and then here, so I don't have to move so much. So it's here. Here, they're saying 1. I prefer 2 just because I can aim my second finger better, but 1's fine to here. And this fingering, I like this fingering because this is the last line, first measure, the second, third, fourth beats. All of these notes together make up a C chord. That's the fingering for the chord. So that's how I would finger it, here and then here. They're showing that in the book. I like that. And then in the next measure, again, their fingering is good because I can get all of these notes in one hand position. Because the whole chord is all of them. So, and then here, yes, I like their fingering here. Yes, 'cause you don't have to move the left hand around so much. You got plenty of stuff going on in the right hand. We want to keep this down a little bit. Page 9, last line is here. Here, last measure. That's an E, that's a stretch, way, I mean, that's okay, we can do that. It's just a stretch to have to do that. You can, if you want, go here and then move. The pedal's going to hold it down. It's up to you on that. That's right. But their fingering is fine too. Then attempt to put the hands together slowly. How slow you go is up to you. Notice I held that whole note down all that time. Third line down, second measure. Watch, this is weird. It just feels weird here and then here because these fingers are opposite. And here, and then here. You just have to work that out till you can sort of, it just feels weird to me. Going on. At the top of page 9, or the pickup to page 9, the last two notes at the bottom of page 8. Then hang on to that. It's that grace note very quickly. Hang on to that and then go on. That 16th note needs to be a 16th note. You're only hanging on to the F and then go. So you work all that out, try and get it to where you're going to sort of play the right notes at the right time. Go as slow as you need to go. I went kind of fast. If you're working on it, you got to go really, really, really slow. And those measures that are problems, extra problems, you spend extra time on those, and whatever it takes. And then we can add some pedal to help smooth this out. So we do all this so far without pedal, so we can make the fingers do it all, and so we can hear everything clearly, because the pedal tends to mess things up. For the most part, it's going to be overlapping pedal, but I'd like to take out some of the mushiness, and I'd like to hear the phrasing. So let's talk with the pedal. I'm going to push the notes down first and then the pedal. I'm not pedaling the pickup beat, that's fine, here. And then play the notes and then change the pedal. And then here I'm going to lift it up with the right hand so I hear a new phrase. They're saying don't pedal it until the fourth beat. Change it. That's okay. I like to change it right there to get rid of some of that. Then you could change it again on the fourth beat. And again, the first measure of the second line, I'm lifting it up with the right hand for the phrase. Lift it up for the phrase, and you can change it again on the fourth beat if you want, but you don't need to. Hang on to that, I'll give it an extra beat or two, and then we go on. Now here. pedaling every beat, and that's fine, except in the first measure of the last line, I want to hear the phrase, so it's not going to be overlapping there. So it's, I hold the left hand down, it's legato, just the right hand and the pedal come up. Again, lift the pedal up so we hear the phrase. Keep the left hand legato. And here I'm only pedaling, this is the first line on page 9, the last measure. I'm only pedaling the first and third beats here. I don't want this to get mushy. If I pedal it the way they're showing, I get this. And to me that's too mushy. So I clean it out, I'll pedal every beat. And then hold it down. And they're saying keep the pedal down. If that's the effect you want, go for it. Or another way is lift the pedal up with the right hand, clear that out, you still got the E going, and then keep this clean. It's like a pickup note, no pedal, and then you go. So there are two different ways of interpreting it. So to go back and review, this is the first measure, the second line, you're here. It's one way, that's what the book is saying, and I'm suggesting you can try this. It's up to you what you do. I tend to pedal each beat here. This is the third line down, last measure. And I'll lift up for the phrase. And here you can pedal it like they're showing. You're getting high enough up in the keyboard, it doesn't matter. And there is a retardando in that last line, so it's... diminuendo there, you're softening up. I'm talking about dynamics. You have to feel the dynamics. Get to know the piece well enough that you can actually start getting into the music. It's gentle. You come down and hold on to that for a little lift, and lift up before you go on. This is a little louder. Not a lot louder, just a little. Crescendo on this. And come down. And hang on to that, linger on it, oh, and then go on. You get it. You get the idea, I hope. They don't do a lot with dynamics. You have to get to know the piece and you feel the dynamics, because it's like at the beginning, medium soft, moderately soft, and they don't give you another one until the third line. You're not going to play all that moderately soft. You're going to get a little louder and softer as you feel it, but you got to get to know it well enough that you can feel it. So a lot of the notes and the fingering and all that is automatic. You're not thinking about it. You're focusing more on the sound of the message, the musical message.